Hi, from inside my car. I don't normally start videos from inside my car, but today is a special exception because I am on a time crunch to get inside the Universal parking garage right over there. Today's a pretty significant day because Universal is opening up 2 Halloween Horror Nights houses to daytime guests. As of right now, they've only advertised them for this weekend, specifically as a test. So it's presumed that they're going to be opening them up for the indefinite future, but just in case they don't, I wanted to come out to try to do them. The park opens in about 15 minutes or so, so I'm gonna try to make it into City Walk. I've seen some pictures and it looks like the crowds are pretty unforgiving right now, so wish me luck.
Alright, so I'm heading into City Walk. The park opens in just a couple minutes, and from what I've seen on Twitter this morning, the line, I always try not to talk when the Spanish safety announcement is going on because I can just never concentrate. But essentially the line is incredibly long to get inside the park, but if this works just like other virtual line experiences do, then you should be able to get a virtual line time in City Walk, but I have no idea how they're going to be doing this. This is a virtual line experience as far as I'm aware. Alright, so I found the end of the line to get into Universal Studios Florida. I am on the app. It is 9 o'clock on the dot right now, and I'm not seeing any virtual line for the Halloween Horror Nights houses. So we'll see. They shouldn't all be taken up at the beginning of the day. They should release them periodically if they're utilized like other attractions are, so I'll see. This is a very different experience. Look at this. This is incredible. Okay, so I'm inside the park and I am on the Universal app. So they finally did show up under the virtual queues here. I don't know if you can totally see that, but it's Revenge of the Tooth Fairy and Universal Monsters The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. And if you touch both of those and they go down to Virtual Line Pass, which took a long time to actually show up, it's going to say that there are no return times currently available, and I was on this page for a while. There were return times, but every time I touched one, it would go away, and it would say that that wait time was no longer available. So I'm going to have to probably hang out on this page for a long time to see if I can get a return time at some point today, so we will see. The crowds are pretty intense today. That is the entrance to one of the houses. That's the Bride of Frankenstein house. Let's see, I'm gonna go this way. There's another house way down there, and that is the other house, the Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. I'm still refreshing the page to see if I can get lucky with a return time, because if it is like other virtual return times, other slots will become available. The only problem is it's 9 o'clock in the morning right now, and a lot of the times that I was seeing when I was able to actually see times, I wasn't able to reserve any, but they were like 5:30, 6:30 p.m. So that's something else. Luckily, I have a backup plan as far as what I wanted to do today, and it's going to start back in Diagon Alley with something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, which is breakfast in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And just as quickly as they popped up on the app, they are gone. Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, virtual line at capacity, and then The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, virtual line at capacity. So it seems like they did release all of the virtual time spots just right at park opening, which I suppose there was definitely a demand for it, but it's weird. I don't even know if the range was similar for this as something like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, where you can get a return time for that while you're in City Walk, and the times started popping up for me right as I pretty much walked up to the Universal Arch. So, I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying anyway, just to kind of see if spots open up for a little bit later. But for now, I'm heading over to Diagon, again, to have some breakfast. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So in a wacky turn of events, I came back over here to First Aid because I needed to get some Band-Aids for my heels. I'm wearing new shoes. I wore new shoes to a theme park, and I got blisters, and I ran into a couple friends of mine. Vincent from Vince Vision, he is also a YouTube vlogger, and his lovely girlfriend, and they actually have an extra availability slot for the time that they got for one of the haunted houses, and they invited me to go with them in their group to do a house in like 15 minutes. So I'm just kind of standing out here awkwardly outside, fast and furious. I was gonna get breakfast, but I think I'll just I'm gonna drink this this energy drink that I brought with me for some reason. and I'm gonna do the house with them, and then I'm gonna grab some breakfast. Yay! All right, so I'm hanging out in Gramercy Park, pretty much in front of Music Plaza, right over there. I'm waiting for Vincent and his girlfriend to finish up with breakfast and meet me over here so we can do this house. This is the house that we're gonna be doing. The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, a Universal Monsters house. And here we are in line for the Bride of Frankenstein. This is Vincent of Vincent Vision, and this is Ellison. Hello. They've allowed me to come along with them.
Of course, we wouldn't have it any other way.
I would have just been sitting over by Bruce the shark, just crying this entire time if I didn't have
a little scared, so I need her in the front, me in the middle, and you in the back.
Okay, that's how I like it too. Okay, so you cannot film in Halloween Horror Nights houses, and it looks like we're about to go inside here in just a couple minutes. This is gonna be super exciting, so I will see you soon. And this is always one of my favorite little perspectives here, just going right underneath the Hollywood Rip Ride rockets. Okay, so I just got out of the haunted house and I placed an order real quick because I am starving and I want some breakfast, so I am heading back to the Leaky Cauldron. And what's pretty incredible, I thought I was only gonna be able to do one house. I thought I was gonna be able to do no houses, but then I ran into Vincent and he offered for me to come along with him on his party, so we did that haunted house, but they have another spot for this one, Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. So I'm gonna be able to do both haunted houses today. What? It is incredibly busy at Universal today. I mean, I anticipated it, but I've been avoiding theme parks on the weekends as much as possible. And today with Halloween Horror Nights, testing, I suppose, in addition to those Saturday crowds, whew, it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's also a little bit pleasant. It's hard to articulate. Okay, I made it back to London. I'm heading through the brick wall and into Diagon Alley to the Leaky Cauldron, which is right here on the left. Hopefully I don't have to wait too long to get a table. So I walked up to the Leaky Cauldron and the attendant outside had me cancel my order because they are no longer serving breakfast. I guess there's a specific time that they stop actually serving it. I thought that I was gonna be okay by at least having the order in before the window closed for breakfast, but I guess not. So no breakfast for me in the Wizarding World today. Boo-hoo! Okay, so now I need to figure out what I am going to eat. I'm pretty sure all of the restaurants have switched over to their lunch menu for the day, so I need to get in the mood for some lunch. They do have some food trucks over there by the haunted houses that have twisted taters. They have pizza fries, I think, over in Louis. There's the crepe stand over there that we've eaten at a few times. I'm not sure yet, I'll figure it out. So apparently the parks are at capacity currently, and the parking garages are closed and they are only admitting hotel guests with reservations. So that's pretty interesting. I'm still looking for a place to eat, but all the lines are pretty long. So the line for the Central Park crepes goes all the way into Central Park, and because it takes a pretty significant amount of time to get a crepe, that's probably like a half-hour wait. Over there, this is Cafe La Bamba, which I think this is a pop-up Halloween Horror Nights bar. I'm not totally sure, but I'm gonna have to come back with Brennan to experience that. I think I have to head back up to the front of the park to meet back up with Vincent, because I think our time slot for the next house, the Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, is probably coming up. I did want to try to get some food, but everything just has such a long wait time, and probably gonna have to get food after the house. Okay, so I made it back over to the Music Plaza area to check out the scene over here. The houses are definitely at capacity. They have signs in front of both of them. This is definitely different than what I'm used to coming here. So this is the exit to the Bride of Frankenstein house, and there's a food truck over here serving Franken-fried chicken and funnel brains, electrified skin and guts, and then a bunch of beer. So I'm assuming that that is funnel cake. And then back over by Mummy and the tribute store, and the entrance to Revenge of the Tooth Fairy is another food truck, and pretty much here they're selling different kinds of twisted taters. Okay, so right now I'm waiting for Vincent to make it back over here so we can go do the Revenge of the Tooth Fairy house over by this U-Rest area. And I've been trying to see if I can get a return time, a virtual time for Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, but it doesn't seem like it. So today I'm just kind of doing it as I go. I've gotten incredibly lucky with just running into Vincent and him having available places for me to go with him to do these houses. So no complaints at all today. And here we are getting in line for Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. I've met back up with Vincent. Hello, and Ellison. And we are heading back of house, I believe. Oh. All right, so we are back of house, heading into another soundstage for the other Halloween Horror Nights house. I'm still incredibly stunned that I'm gonna be able to do this at all. much less both houses. So we are exiting out of the house right now, and if I go on the app, there are all these times that are available now, but if you touch one, it's probably gonna, yeah, this is what it did this morning when I tried to get a time by myself, where it would say, these times aren't available. So let's see if I do it again, try to tap this one, try to get a time, no longer available. Man, see, I could do this again potentially if it let me get a time for it. Is it gonna let me do it? Oh, look at that. I have a time for the Bride of Frankenstein again. Wow. Okay, so Vincent, now listen, what did you think of these Halloween Horror Nights houses and the experience that you had?
It was great. It was awesome. I had so much fun. It definitely felt like Halloween Horror Nights, and at first I was like a little worried about like, oh, I had heard that there was gonna be plexiglass and like the characters were gonna wear masks, and like, yeah, I feel like it kind of made it a little less intense, but I think he still went in, like, we got scared a couple times, a couple jump scares and stuff like that. It was cool. It was nice to see these haunted houses, like, and it made me wish that there were more. Please, we need more. Right. But it was awesome. I mean, I think out of the two, I like Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy was really, really good. Bride of Frankenstein was cool. It had a really cool entrance and stuff like that, but like the Tooth Fairy one just felt a little scarier. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me tag along.
Yeah, hey man, of course.
I couldn't have done it without you, literally.
Awesome. Why wouldn't we? Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, all right. We're gonna get some food. We're hungry. You haven't eaten either. Yeah.
I haven't eaten anything. Okay. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you around.
So what did I think getting to do both Halloween Horror Nights houses this year? First of all, I feel incredibly fortunate that I ran into Vincent and that he was able to incorporate me into his group to be able to do the houses. I literally cannot thank him enough for that opportunity, even though I was able to get a couple, or a single return time for one of the houses after I got to do them. Just getting to do them at all, and early in the morning or so, it's around noon right now, that's fantastic, and I'm just glad that I got to do them. I don't necessarily, I do this every single year where I need to do the houses multiple times to really know what I liked and didn't like about them, but personally, I think I liked the Bride of Frankenstein a little bit more. I think Tooth Fairy was scarier, but Bride of Frankenstein, I think it was just more interesting for me visually. I don't know, I do want to do both of those again, and I'm hoping that this was a successful weekend. I don't normally like to do the opening day stuff and come out on a Saturday to do this, but this was particular. I think I already said this because as of right now, this is the only weekend that they're doing this. I'm presuming that they're going to be doing it at other dates as well for daytime guests, but it's not totally certain. So I just wanted to make sure that I could do it if I could do it, and I got to do it, and I'm happy. It really just, it made me just happy that I got to do it, happy that I got to go inside these houses, but then also sad, like Vincent said, that there aren't more houses and that Halloween Horror Nights is not a thing this year, but I got to do something, and for that, I'm grateful. Okay, but now I'm heading over to Islands of Adventure to maybe ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. I have been trying to get a virtual return time all day long. Hasn't happened yet, but then I didn't think that I would get a return time for one of the houses either, because they said that they were capacity. They still have little A-frames out saying that they are capacity, so maybe I'll get lucky with Hagrid's. I did delete my time that I got back there because I already did the houses, so I don't need to do them again. I want somebody else to have that opportunity, but yeah, maybe Islands will be a little bit less busy than the Universal Studios, potentially. Okay, so I just exited out of the side entrance of Universal Studios, heading over to Islands, passing by the Blue Man Group Theater, which is currently not having performances, unfortunately. This is also the old Nickelodeon building, and I'm pretty sure most people know that. But I think I have to go around here, around the Hard Rock, because they did kind of block off this way over here. So I'll make it over to Islands somehow. All right, popped out on the other side of the Hard Rock, passing by the Chocolate Emporium, and I think I'm probably gonna get some pretzels when I get inside Islands, just because I'm super hungry. So, Auntie Anne's, here I come. And here I am inside Islands of Adventure. It seems a little bit less busy over here, which makes sense because everything's going on over at Universal Studios, but actually maybe I spoke too soon. It looks really busy over there. Yep, it looks significantly busy over here. Woo! Saturday at the theme parks. Who would have guessed? But I'm heading over straight to Auntie Anne's for my pretzel bites. So there's a pretty significant line for pretty much everything. The Auntie Anne's line is way over there, which I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and get in line for it, but trying to avoid these kinds of lines all day long. But you know what, I gotta eat something. Okay, and about 20 minutes later, I got my pretzels from Auntie Anne's. It was pretty busy over there, but hopefully this is gonna be worth it. I was thinking about getting a drink as well, but I'm gonna try to get a drink over in Hogsmeade if I can. So we're doing this pretty busy right now. I think I'm actually gonna head over to Blondie's to see if I can get some water, because I really do need to get something to drink. pretty quickly. It's very hot today. Never mind, the line for that is incredibly long just to get inside, so I'm gonna just keep heading around until I find some sort of an area that I can get something to drink. I am parched. I may just have to give up and just eat this without any sort of a beverage to accompany it, because all of the lines, pretty much for all of the restaurants, and then even the little kiosks here where you could potentially get a drink, they're very, very, very long lines. So I think I'm just gonna do this. Oh, it's so salty. All right, so I came over to the splash zone of River Adventure, and this is where I'm gonna enjoy my pretzel nuggets and my marinara sauce. I'm not gonna film this because it's just pretzels, but at least I found a spot in the shade. All right, so I've been watching this splashdown for about 5 or 10 minutes or so, and it looks incredibly refreshing. So I'm gonna do something that I may regret, but then probably not at all. That felt good. Well, that was incredibly refreshing. And those pretzels, man, they hit the spot. I'm feeling so much more invigorated now. I think I'm gonna make a lap. I'm gonna finish my lap around the park and then probably head on out, because I've been here for about 5 hours so far and I'm getting kind of tired. Not a significant amount of progress done since Brendan and I were here just a few days ago on the Jurassic Park coaster, but it's still really getting there. I am very, very excited for any kind of an announcement with this, even a name. The forbidden journey lockers are coming along slowly. I'm hoping that they finish up with that pretty soon, because the other day when Brendan and I came here, we had to use the old lockers for the first time in a while for me, and I forgot how much I did not really care for those forbidden journey lockers. Something that I'm a little bit sad about, I suppose, is right over here, usually on busy days, they open up this bypass bridge right over there, right there behind the Three Broomsticks, but it is not open right now, and that was kind of the main reason I came over here to Islands of Adventure, was to walk over that bridge so I could walk underneath the new coaster. But I guess it's also a good thing, because that makes it a lot more inconvenient to have to go all the way down and then back into Hogsmeade. So I guess I should be happy. The line for both Three Broomsticks and Butterbeer are incredibly substantially long, so I'm gonna go ahead and bypass that for today. I continue to check for a virtual return time for Hagrid's, but that did not happen as well, which is, it's okay. I can come back a different day. I've wanted to stop for water at so many booths and restaurants walking around both Universal and Islands, but the lines are just so long, and it's no fault of Universal's. It's just really, really busy today. I'm pretty sure both parks are still at capacity, but they are not allowing the purchasing of new tickets. I think that if you have a valid ticket, they're letting you in, like an annual pass or a day ticket or a resort guest. But if you don't, then you're kind of out of luck. So I thought I was heading out of the park, but then I stopped by Moose Juice Goose Juice, which I don't think is normally open during the weekdays. I haven't seen it open in a long time, and I wanted to try to get one of those options, the Moose Juice or the Goose Juice, whichever one it is. Okay, and I got the Moose Juice, which is essentially a frozen Fanta Icy. The Goose Juice was a frozen sour apple, I'm pretty sure. And then they also had grape, watermelon, wild berry, and Coke. So essentially just ices. This isn't the most hydrating thing in the world, but it's gonna be really good on a hot day like today. Speaking of which, I am completely dry now after running over to the splash zone. I dried off within like 2 minutes, but it got me pretty refreshed for at least those 2 minutes. This area in Seuss Landing is the only part of both Universal and Islands that I felt comfortable today, so that's good. I've tried this. It is fantastic. It hits the absolute spot, and this is just the perfect little treat to end the day on, and I've never had it before, so even though it's nothing really special, it's a Fanta frozen icy, but it's still good, and now I can say that I've had a Moose Juice. That's where Brendan and I ate lunch a few days ago. That's still one of my favorite memories from recent months here at Universal, without a doubt. Just getting to do something new. Just getting to do anything new is just always a win for me. It's always just something that's very reinvigorating and exciting to do at the theme park, so I'm happy. All right, I'm heading out of Islands, back to the parking garage. I came to Universal on a Saturday, and I am simultaneously very proud of myself, and then also pretty disappointed. But I did it. I survived. And I had a good time for the most part. All right, I am ending the video up here for the first time in a while. I'm about to head back to the garage, back to my car. Today was an incredible day. I did not think I was gonna be able to do, at least I didn't even think I was gonna be able to do one Horror Nights house. Then I got to do both of them, and then I got to take a trip around Universal, and then got to go over to Islands. It was an incredibly uncomfortably busy day today, without a doubt. but I'm glad I got to do it just in case they don't continue to do these haunted house options. I think that they will. It seemed like it was pretty successful to me with the plexiglass that they had in between the guests and the characters and how they were distancing you and your group inside the house. I didn't really talk about that much, but they did that very well. I hope that they can do that virtual line a little bit better, because I didn't think that I was going to be able to get a time at all. It seemed like all the reservation times, the virtual queue times, were gone at the beginning of the morning, and then they just kind of released a bunch more randomly a couple hours later, which is what they do with all of the virtual time queues. So I don't know, but I'm glad that I got to make a trip out today. It was stressful and it was different and it was weird, but it was fun. So thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you soon. Have a good day and goodbye.